tell them about the $70 billion plus since 2020, since 2018 that's been invested in Africa, and then hope that they can pick up some of that information and start to utilize it and go for themselves. You know what I mean? Like, you can't force them, Marco, but you know, you don't give them the information, hopefully.
So in terms of, preparation, from African Americans coming from the state, I've heard that a lot. What is your perspective?
And we're not going to get it. It's a lot of politics. Even building a platform at Forbes VOK platform, I get a lot of questions about what does VOK mean? Does it mean black? What does that mean? The reparations question, man, I look at it and I just shake my head because that's another one of those things that it tends to divide us. We talk about these things with Mark and we talk about these things and it doesn't get us anywhere. The only thing it does is it splits us from looking at what's happening right now in this country, what's happening in the world. And again, not to lose sight, Africa's online. If you look at global politics and the way that it's shifting, obviously you have people divesting from China, right? Because all of the issues. India's right there, right? We're doing business, and if you don't believe that, just go into your clothing stores, look at the back of the tag, what does it say? Made where, right? India. After that, if we get into any geopolitics or any problems with India, who's next? What's the next continent that's there? China, right? And so the reparations conversation, for me, in my opinion, is just it distracts us from the conversation of making sure that we're set up for the next 20 or 50 years so that our kids, the next generation of blacks can be set up with some wealth. So the reparations conversation, we've been talking about that for years and years, and what's gotten done? Not a damn thing, right? We need to move forward.
So you don't think there's a hope because there's some people out there who's still pushing for it, so
let them waste their time. I'm looking ahead. Listen, it's a great conversation to have, and listen, I think we all would love it, but it's just you're going in circles at this time. We're in 2023. You got any reparations? No, I haven't. Have y'all? Right? Raise your hand if you got any reparations. All right, move forward.
That's good. I love that. So let's talk about trade. Quick. So I think one of the ways also to connect the diaspora African Americans to trade. So through your work, what insight can you provide us, in terms of that regard?
Trade. Well, listen, if you look and how many people in here follow Prosper Africa? Raise your hand, Prosper Africa, right? So Prosper Africa is a very good resource to kind of understand what trades are needed, what business is going on right now. Instead of trade, I'm actually looking at just capital, where venture capital in America are putting their money, where institutions are putting their money, things like fintech. So I talk to people who've been over Africa 5-6 times a year, and I say, hey, what do they get? Fintech is just growing, solutions of their infrastructure, the power grid, all those things that you're looking at how you can create a solution. If you look at what which best entrepreneurs are the ones who go somewhere, find a solution, fix it, and create something, right? They need that in Africa, right? So I'm looking at not necessarily trade, but what problems can be solved. What solutions can be fixed. And so I know I'm looking at fintech a lot, looking at that area because there's a lot of good work going on. Again, you're talking about a continent that by 2040 is supposed to be has the youngest workforce in the world, right? Fintech is an area that I feel like I'm definitely paying attention to.
Thank you. So we're gonna take 2 questions for the body. If you guys have any questions, we're gonna take 2 questions. Any question? Okay.
Oh, Jabari.
You're not on your phone, too, man.
No. So, you gave out some good information here, but how do Africans who are in business, who want to go back or who want to do business with the United States down there, how do they get their hands on all that money that we just talked about? What are the resources for where? How do we actually get involved in those things? Do you have any ideas, suggestions?
Well, I just told you about one of them, right? Prosper Africa, right? go on that site and you'll see that that's an initiative between the U.S. government and Africa, right, to create better relations. I mean, it's been in place for a while, but the last 2 presidential administrations, including today, has put money there. The relation between U.S. and Africa needs to get better, right? And now that doesn't need to happen, but Prosper Africa is one of the very best resources to do that. Through that, you will see what the U.S. government's looking at, right? It's designed to bring you and avoid all the paperwork tangles, and you'll see what this government is looking at in Africa and ways for you to get involved, ways for you to have investments. They have resources there to let you understand, hey, you want to be investing there? The U.S. government takes people over to Africa every single year, right? That's how you do that. Prosper Africa is a very good resource.
One last question. We're going to take over there. Yes, please.
Hi, Jamari. How are you?
Good.
So I had a quick question. How does a black man like yourself get and work your way up to a place like Forbes? And how do you continue to foster and bring in other people? And essentially, what was your route to success and how did that look like for you? And for any other young black man who could be trying to follow behind your footsteps or just another black person in general, what are the steps to get there? Because it's very rare to hear of a black person in a high power position or in a position with so much influence. So how did you get to become such an influential person or essentially what was your route to entering that door? That's really my question. And how do you continue to maintain being in an environment like that? And what are some tips and insights on how you grow and how you can make that work for you to work back for the diaspora?
Well, at the end of the day, I'm a journalist. With being a journalist, you go through your natural progression as a journalist. Listen, I'm very blessed because one of the people that got me into this game was Stephen A. Smith. That's my mentor, and that's a guy who I knew since Philadelphia before. How many people here know who Stephen A. is? Okay, great. I was watching him on television when I was younger allowed me to see another black man doing it, right? And then I was able to follow that because I saw another black guy doing it. And now I'm constantly being, asked the same things that I was asking Stephen. I think when you see people like us, when you see people like yourself doing something, that's motivation right there. Oh, he did it. He didn't play ball. I could do that too, right? And so you go through there. You have to go through the phases of confidence, keeping your self-confidence, imposter syndrome, right? The things that mentally that you have to overcome in order to continue to rise. I faced those in my careers, and I was lucky to have mentors like Stevie to call when I was in the gym, to call to keep me motivated, because it's very easy to give up. It's very easy to look at social media, see that guy doing it, that guy doing it, this girl dropping that guy dropping that, and then get caught up in that. You gotta leave that alone, sit down, quiet yourself, and really dig into your craft, right? And I tell that to everybody who wants to do anything, especially young black men who wants to do journalism, because it is a road. It's a tough road. It's a great road. But when you get to a place like Forbes, where you do have influence, when you are able to control narrative, which is important, right? I saw a poll that said black people don't even trust media because there's so much negativity, right? So to be in a position to control narrative, it is a very good thing, but that comes with the process. And if you go through the process the right way, anybody can get to any position, because as we said, the brother just said, Obama was the president, right? Same thing. Did that answer your question, though? Yeah, you can hit me right out here. I don't want to keep up Marcus Berg right now. Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Oh, I said she can talk to me out there. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So with that note, please give your hands to Mr. Jabari Young for his time. All right, so we're gonna take a quick lunch break. We're gonna make it very short, 20 minutes because of the sake of time. And then after that, we're gonna dive into a mental health topic, and also we're gonna talk about life insurance, why it's so important. So I just want to know that the gala is gonna be here at 6 o'clock. So be on time, because by 10 o'clock, unfortunately, we have to leave this building. And then after we're gonna transition, to a lounge, so we can have a great time out here. So we're gonna take a 20-minute lunch break, and then we're gonna come back for the rest of the program so we can get out again, come back to have a great time for our gala. Thank you.